Man down.
Welcome to the Sith List's Mornings with Mando. This is Iraj Shahi. I got my co-host from the Sith List, King Tom Chansky.
Hi.
And Mr. Les Gonzalez, or Gonzalez as he says.
Good morning.
Les and I just woke up at 4:30 Pacific Standard Time to watch the episode and record a reaction video. It was our first reaction video recording that we've ever done. So check that out on our YouTube channel. You'll see the Samsonite baggages under our eyes. But it was so worth it. King Tom, Les, how excited were you at the end of this episode? King Tom, I want to get your reaction first.
I'm ready for next Friday.
Oh,
It was one of those episodes that I wanted more of it. I think it was like 35 minutes altogether.
Yeah, 35
and
minutes.
it wasn't just because it was shorter than the first episode, which was 50 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But there was just so much in it. There was action, and we finally got some explanation for what's going on Mandalore, why these Mandalorians we've seen in this show don't take off their helmets, and how they're related to the ones we've seen before in the Clone Wars. And it was so great to see Katie Sackhoff as Bo-Katan in live action. It looked just like.
So good.
And whoever Sasha Banks was, she and the dude,
cool.
they were cool too.
Yeah, they were very cool.
Well, I had the captions on. I always have captions and subtitles. So her character, if I'm not mistaken, is Koska Reeves.
Okay, so when we did our reaction video, I was like,
I was calling out names.
I was like, how does Les know? How does Les know this girl's name?
He's
What
smart.
in the world? Wow, that's pretty good. Okay, that
Always
explains
watch,
a lot.
hey guys, watch everything with captions if you
Oh,
can.
I normally do.
I like watching foreign films, so subtitles is something I do. So I've always done closed caption, and I got terrible hearing here.
So what did the frog lady say when she reunited?
Frog sounds?
Ribbit.
Apparently.
Oh, okay.
It said
Frog sounds? That'd be so great if it said ribbit, ribbit, ribbit. That would be fantastic.
But wow, what an episode! I agree. I listen. I will defend again when I say filler. It just had the feel of a filler episode because we didn't get certain elements.
King Tom is pissed.
King Tom and everybody else that said the word bridge or that said, this led to something. It totally did.
It did.
We were right.
You were right. You were right. And it completely did. And yes, Frog Lady played a very critical part to this whole thing, and she truly did get him where he needed to be. This episode was, and like I said, you got that high from the very first one. Then we got that kind of lull, and like you said, it's the bridge, and then all of a sudden, boom. And we got all kinds of stuff, man. It was so cool, man.
This was my favorite episode of the year so far, and that says a lot because that premiere was unbelievable.
Mm-hmm.
But this one was just, it was cool to see Boba Fett's armor in live action again on film, and that was super cool. And the storyline was great in season premiere. But this one just had the feel from the beginning. It was just really cool, and seeing Bo-Katan in live action and seeing the Mandalorians come down and help Din. It was just so fantastic. And the setting was great. The species were all cool. This was Star Wars at its finest. You get it all. And very, very excited about this.
We got a glimpse of Moff Gideon and then Titus Welliver as I don't know if he was a captain, a commander, lieutenant. He was great in that role.
Yeah.
I think they shouldn't have done what they did with his character. I think of him as Mendo Light, as Ben Mendelsohn Light, because he's a great actor.
They probably
He's like the American Mendo.
Yeah.
Yes, there it is. Mendo Americano. How about we do that?
He's such a great actor. He's
such
a great actor.
Yeah, and all the other stuff he's done. And I'm like, as I saw him, I'm going, he's Krennic-esque. He was kind of Krennic-y. He had like a bit of a feel for me. Not so much the cape and then all the grander things, but it just felt right, and I'm like, oh, they got to keep this guy in the show, man. They got to keep this guy at something. Yeah. But it is what it is. But
it was cool. It was a great surprise to have him on there, to see him. It was fantastic. Who directed this one?
Bryce Dallas Howard.
She directed the one in the ATST one.
Yeah.
Yes. Correct?
The Village. Yeah.
Fantastic job. Great job. She
fixed things too. if you guys take a quick look, she fixed things.
What do you mean?
Meaning we had a controversy in the other previous episode, and then we get a very nurturing bonding moment.
Right.
I mean, I'll be honest, I expected when Din left the child with the frog people that Yoda was going to go nuts. Baby Yoda's going to go nuts and force choke them, eat all the things.
So you
I thought Din would come back and it was just going to be chaos in there, and he just looks at him like a puppy that looks at you after destroying like the kitchen or something.
You thought Egggate would continue.
I thought he was going to go full
I thought there was going to be a baby frog eaten.
Yes,
yeah.
I thought that's what he was going to do. Just like go off with the force. Like, you guys are going to let me have this? I was like, ooh.
But Les at the end of it thought that he was bonding with the little creature.
It was a very nurturing moment. Yeah. And I mean, he was bonding.
Until he sticks it in his mouth, you know. And then
I would love to see
a very nutritious moment, Les, not a nurturing.
I think there's a deleted scene where he probably tried to, and Frog Mama was like, ah! It just like smacked it out of his hand.
Yeah, very possible.
Said, you don't eat them. We're people, you know, and they start talking.
Do you think that the daddy frog daddy, do you think that he was counting the eggs? He's like, what the hell? What the hell's going on here? No, you don't think he was all good with it?
Okay. He's like, hey, you're here, and let's do this.
Yeah, he probably doesn't follow that side of things that closely.
Which means, did he fertilize them or what? Because
they were not fertilized before she got to that planet.
Okay. So that's a quick gestation, because babies were starting to be born within 10 minutes of them hanging out together.
You know what's crazy? Man, is that we had such a crazy episode, and we're still talking about the goddamn frogs and the eggs. You know, that's the craziest part. But let's go back to some cool shots. Like, how cool was that an AT-AT repurchase? Was that an aquatic AT-AT?
I think they used cranes in Solo, like AT-AT cranes.
Right.
And I'm pretty sure that made the final movie. I know it was definitely in the art, but that's a pretty nice touch where the movie her father directed, they use a concept from that in her episode.
Cool. That's very cool. That was
and I said that in our reaction. I'm like, this got a very Solo-y feel, you know, it looks like,
the whole episode did.
Yeah. It had like a very distinct look like the movie Solo.
In the end of the episode, when they pulled out, the planet looked a little bigger and more populated than we were meant to believe, which I like. I'd rather go to more city, urban type planets, big. And I know it's tougher to do in the volume, but because it seems like we're all outposty wilderness.
Yeah.
That's true.
I like the contrast. If you looked, Baby Yoda was eating everything. The child was eating everything the previous episode. This time around, he got eaten on twice. Like, it almost got eaten a third time. Like,
let's call that part out. I was like, there's no way that they're going to put both of them in the water. Oh, this is going to be rad.
No. They may push Jen in there, dude. Den in there.
No, they're not going to push him in there.
Yeah. See?
Good call, bro.
See?
Good call.
You see?
Oh, no. And then they got hit in the water instantly when Les said it. I was like, damn, Les.
Yeah, because you're looking, because they're going, have you ever seen this feed before? And then it's like this, and I'm going, wait, where are they going to dump the chum? Like, where are they going to dump that? Are they going to dump it into the ocean? Right. And when they open the thing in the boat, I'm going, okay, is this thing, like, is it one of those, like, pontoon types where they could float over the water and, like, have it? But obviously it was a tank in the damn thing. And, of course, I was like, I'm surprised. I said, I'm surprised they haven't tried to take the child. Nobody's tried to attack him and take the child. And boom, right then and there, dude.
What I've noticed, though, the last two episodes, episode 1 and this one, it seems like, or even the last episode, seems like they're going after the Beskar more so than the child. Like, because he said something about Beskar again. And in the first episode, we see him talking about the John Leguizamo character talking about how he loves the Beskar armor, and do I have to take that away from rip it from your, from your dead body or whatever?
Which is weird, right? Because like I said, they were more into getting the Beskar.
Well,
than the child, which is like the most valuable bounty out there.
Yeah, which is interesting. What do you think, King Tom, about the prospect of us seeing Ahsoka next episode? And are we going to see is Sabine with Ahsoka?
I'm not. I think seeing Sabine would be cool. I'm not holding out hope for that, especially because we got Bo and the two others, and she and Sabine seem to be on good terms when we last saw them together in Rebels.
Right.
I mean, I think Ahsoka would be enough. Sabine would be gravy. I'm really hoping we do get to see her next episode, and that it isn't like, you know, that the Razor Crest is hobbling along and then there's another bridge episode.
Right.
I'm hoping next week is to the point. I believe people are saying that next week is the episode that's going to be directed by Carl Weathers. So does that mean that we'll get Grief Karga?
Oh, most likely. Most likely. It might be a separate episode. Like you said, a bridge episode getting us to Ahsoka. Oh, wow. That's unreal. There's some other cool stuff that you guys loved about the episode. Like I said, I loved the feel of it. The action sequences were great. Seeing stormtroopers, fantastic. Battle scenes were amazing. It was Star Wars at its best.
Katie Sackhoff's character, great helmet hair. How about we say that right now?
Great helmet hair.
Yeah,
great helmet hair. Didn't ruin anything.
King Tom, you're so right. She was dead on live action. It was so cool, and I mean, I got goosebumps a couple times during the episode, which is always a good sign when you get the goosies. When they talked about Ahsoka and when you saw Katie Sackhoff, just great.
Right.
Yeah. And I also like the fact that we got, like you said, they answered why Din never takes his helmet off. And I like the idea of, you know, within a certain culture, there are different subgroups, you know, like
even in religion. Yeah.
And then there's obviously a fanatical religious group, you know, and he's part of that group, or he's been at least raised in the way of that group. So it is one of the many ways.
And this is also a way of getting Pedro Pascal out of the helmet so we can see Pedro Pascal more.
I was going to ask, do you think that story-wise this will lead Din down that road to where he takes it off?
Absolutely. Because it comes to a point where when you get an actor like Pedro Pascal, you can't just have his face in one episode. I mean, it defeats the purpose, and he just becomes a voice actor. I think this is definitely going that route.
Yeah. I think so.
Yeah. But overall, man, what do you guys rate this thing? I'm doing, because I'm holding out my 10, just I'm holding it out. But so I'm going to say a 9 out of 10 on this one. With everything visually, acting, even the music was a little different. If you noticed,
yeah,
like this guitar riff going on
whenever Sasha Banks showed up.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm definitely giving it a 9 out of 10 so far on the scale for the season. How about you guys?
I'm at a 9 also.
You're a 9 also. Okay, great.
I'm gonna go with the 9 also. I'll go 9.5 because it was definitely just the scale, like that troop transport trying to take off.
Oh yeah, that thing was
just the shots that we got, the gorgeous atmosphere, and we're on a water planet or a sea planet. You know, like basically this is a marine life or mariner's lifestyle. You know. Ports and all that stuff. I kind of like that kind of backdrop in Star Wars. I like that background.
Yeah, so do I.
I get like an actual sea-faring vehicle in, you know, a boat basically in some ocean is pretty damn cool, man.
And the Razor Crest becomes a pirate ship by the end of it, which is pretty interesting. Right?
Man, they put so much spit and baling wire on that thing.
That thing is, man. That thing needs a little
gum
detail.
over here.
It needs a detailed job there. I love how he says, "Come on, calamari."
Yeah.
Yes.
Now, King Tom, question for you. On our reaction show, Les brought up a point. Is Plo Koon the same species as what we see on the boats and stuff? No,
he's a Keldoran, or he's either Keldoran or Keldor, and it's different where they have to wear like the masks and goggles and things on their head.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I thought he was just wearing that as because he was a pilot. But then I started as I looked at the species more after saying that, I noticed that Plo Koon's got like his ears are kind of, or it's like horns, kind of like a kind of thing.
Yeah, it goes like this. Yeah, it's already named. All right, guys. Well, we love the episode. We just watched it. And that was our first initial reaction. So if you want a more detailed breakdown, check out our episode this week of the Sith List, episode 224, and we'll break it down some more.
Is anyone else having chowder for lunch today?
I think I'm going to have some chowder.
I don't think I'm ever going to eat chowder again the way that crap came out, dude. The first time it came out, I'm like, what is that crap, dude? What is it with space gruel? Like, is that like just the default? Like,
I think so.
Universal food is just like this gloppy, gravy, oatmeal-y stuff that you just like plop. Here you go. At least in Game of Thrones, it was called the Bowl of the Brown, and it was like just this brown soup.
Well, that doesn't sound good.
I could get behind that because it's like stews and stuff like that. But this stuff is just clumpy and plop. Ugh.
Yeah, it was gross. Galaxy's Edge is going to have that in the restaurants. They're going to just plop down on the.
And shouldn't the health department $40 a bowl flagging that place for serving it with parasites in it? Like
that was a straight aliens little
great homage.
Great homage.
Callback and a great homage.
Yeah, great homage.
And of course, ironically, onto the child's face. And you're like, of all things, the first thing.
Yeah, the child's almost gotten to work from the face and the top from last episode. Spiders, octopi.
Yeah, it's great. Dude.
All right, guys. Well, thanks again for tuning in. We really, really appreciate it. Subscribe. You'll get more of this and some reactions. And we'll catch you next time on the Sith List.